The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
Tonight, the Astros start a weekend series against the division rival Cardinals. Last time these teams met back in May, the Astros swept the Cardinals in St. Louis. Bud Norris takes the mound with an up-and-down season so far, but he has owned the Cardinals in his brief career. It's the Cardinals and Astros next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park, and the bayous are overflowing outside in downtown Houston. It is the St. Louis Cardinals and the Houston Astros in Game 1 of a three-game weekend series. The first visit this season for the Cardinals to Houston. And yes, the rain has been coming down, but expected to be clear all weekend. The Astros have found clear sledding after that three-game sweep of the Pirates, J.D.
Oh, boy, yeah, and Bud Norris has got a tough act to follow. Roy Oswalt, boy, he was outstanding yesterday. One hit, complete game, shutout. Pitching matchup is a dandy again tonight.
It's our Jaguar key matchup, brought to you by the 2011 Jaguar XJ.
Adam Wainwright has turned into one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. You see his numbers against the Astros in his career, 8-1 with a .172 ERA. He's 2-0 here at Minute Maid Park. Bud Norris has had his struggles, but
well, the bats have been jumping out of the racks to hit home runs. It was Carlos Lee and Lance Berkman and Hunter Pence and then Jeff Keppinger. And the home runs continue. 2 from Berkman last night. We'll see what happens in just a moment. Sports Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150. By Jack in the Box. By the Progressive Insurance Group. And by Fred Loya Insurance. The Astros take the field inside air-conditioned Minute Maid Park. It is steaming hot outside. And it is St. Louis versus Houston for the 7th meeting this year. All 6 of them occurring in St. Louis prior to tonight, where the Astros won 4 and lost 2. Now the Cardinals, with their first visit to Houston, have this lineup for Tony La Russa. Felipe Lopez leads off. He's playing third base with Colby Rasmus in center field. Albert Pujols is the first baseman, followed by another all-star left fielder, Matt Holliday. John Jay is subbing in right field and doing quite well with an 8-game hitting streak for the injured Ryan Ludwig. It's Tyler Green at shortstop. Yadier Molina is the catcher. Adam Wainwright, the pitcher, is batting 8th tonight. And the second baseman, Skip Schumacher, is in the 9th spot. We look at Bud Norris, J.D.
Now, Bud Norris, who has been so good against the Cardinals in his young career, takes the hill tonight. You take a look at his last 3, and the 2 since coming off the disabled list. One against Milwaukee, no decision, where he allowed 4 runs in 5 innings. And then last time out Saturday at San Diego, a no decision despite a very solid effort. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He walked 3 and struck out 5. Astros played a real nice game defensively yesterday. Michael Bourne continues to sparkle in center field. Lee and the Pence cover the corners. Johnson, Sanchez, the youngsters on the left side. Kempinger and Berkman. Lance made a couple of real nice plays yesterday in support of Roy Oswalt. Jason Castro is behind the plate.
Bud Norris completes his warm-up tosses. The Astros, with that 3-game sweep of the Buccos, begin the night 13.5 behind the front-running Cincinnati Reds. The Cardinals trail by 3, and the Reds are winning 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th at Philadelphia tonight. Good-sized crowd getting their blue retro caps. And they are ready to see some baseball. They saw a beautiful game yesterday. The one-hitter by Roy Oswalt, a 2-0 win over Pittsburgh. And now Bud Norris comes atop the mound before facing the leadoff man, Felipe Lopez. 278 for Lopez, 5 homers, 21 driven in. He has a 348 on base average. And a good lively fastball takes care of strike 1. Adrian Johnson is calling the balls and strikes tonight. David Freese is injured at third and on the disabled list, so Lopez gets the call. Been playing a lot at that position. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike. And Lopez has played the middle infield positions a lot in his career. He had 3 hits Wednesday night at Colorado.
Yeah, he's been swinging a pretty hot bat. Month of July hitting .440 from Bud Norris. You'll see a 94 to 95 mile an hour heater. He'll see sliders, and he'll see a straight change as well.
Lopez is on a 5-game hitting streak. That one's in the air, and Michael Bourne moves over to his right and in. Carlos Lee's calling and yields to the center fielder. And the man with the gold glove takes care of out number 1. Well, they talk about that, and it's Colby Rasmus following. Rasmus has had a solid year on a 4-game hitting streak right now. 278, 16 homers, 41 runs batted in for Rasmus. And he is 10th in the National League in slugging percentage. Now, batting second tonight, he brings a lot of pop to this spot in the order.
Now, I was watching him take BP. He's got a lot of power. He's hit some massive blasts. He does swing and miss a lot. He's punched out 84 times in 259 at bats. So there are some holes in that swing, but nonetheless, pretty solid. On base plus slugging up over 900.
And in other games, he's hit in more of an RBI slot in the lineup. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count to Rasmus. 25-year-old Bud Norris. Bud's from Novato, California. That's fouled away. And the Redbirds, who won this division by 7.5 last year, came out of the gate with a 15-8 April record. Tony La Russa's club led by 3. And was tied at the end of April for the best winning percentage in the National League. Since then, they've played under 500 ball, 30 and 32.
Yeah, I don't know if it was tongue-in-cheek or exactly what Tony was getting at, but apparently he was quoted in the St. Louis paper the other day saying, hey, I've got 5 guys that made the All-Star team, and we're not playing very well. Must be bad managing.
Well, they've come from being swept by the Rockies, losing twice in the Rockies' final at bat in that 3-game series. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and What a horrible way to lose in the opener of that series. A 9-3 lead going to the bottom of the ninth inning, and they lost it. And the Rockies came up with 9 runs in the ninth. That had not been done since 1901. A team scoring 9 in the bottom of the ninth to win a game.
Yeah, you know, and you're not supposed to put the bats away. You know, it's the old cliche, don't put the bats away until the game's over. But if you're in that Cardinal dugout with that lead, you're probably getting ready to pack up, contemplating what's the spread tonight? What are we going to eat after this game? And then bam, bam, bam.
Colby Rasmus has really struggled against the Astros pitching. 0 for 19 for the season. He rips one toward the right field wall. Extra bases for Rasmus. Well, he snapped that 0 for 19, and he's on with his 16th double.
Showing a really quick bat there. They're trying to crowd him with that fastball, and the ball leaked out over the plate a little bit. And he got a quick bat. Watch here, gets that front side down and just buggy whips that heater. And Bud's lucky he didn't get some lift on that one. He would have knocked it into the second deck.
Rasmus aboard. Albert Pujols at the plate. Pujols looks at ball one. 302 is his average. He has 20 homers, 61 runs batted in. He's hit 391 against the Astros this year. His home run came off Wandy Rodriguez back on April 12th at St. Louis. It's 1-1.
Well, he's got a good heater tonight.
He does.
The ball's got good hop. Threw that one right by Albert at 95 miles an hour. And one of the things Bud's been working on lately is his changeup. And he wants to be able to fine-tune the ability to throw his changeup to a right-handed hitter. That's a tough pitch to make. Try to throw it down and away all the way across the plate.
Pujols takes ball 2. He's now a 9-time All-Star. This is the 8th time in his career he's had 20 homers and 60 runs batted in prior to the All-Star break. He's had 5 homers in his last 10 games and has excellent career numbers in this ballpark.
Against Bud Norris, he has not done much. Just 2 out of 11 with a walk and a couple of strikeouts. That helps to explain Bud's success against this club. Hold the big man down, you're likely to have success.
Now 3-1. Cardinals are 10th in runs scored in the National League. Pujols is, well, at 302. That's a little bit off his normal pace, but you couldn't really say he's having an off year. Matt Holliday has picked it up quite a bit behind him. He was subpar for a couple of months. Foul away. Full count now to Pujols. The Cardinals have had some issues this season. Holliday waiting to bat next. Pujols a 3-time MVP, only 30 years old.
The biggest issue the Cardinals have right now is the Cincinnati Reds because they're not going away. That's a good-looking club.
Pujols hits one to right center. A long run for Michael Bourne. That's in the gap and picked up on a bounce on the warning track, and Rasmus comes around to make it 1-0. RBI double for Pujols. 62nd run batted in, and that's his 21st double.
Well, he's able to slip that 3-1 fastball by him and went back 3-2, trying to throw another fastball, and Albert able to get to this one. Very limited motion with the lower body. And just a little bit of a weight shift back, and then he explodes through the ball. Michael giving it a good run, but that ball slicing away from him. And the Redbirds have now scored their second earned run off Bud Norris.
Matt Holliday picked it up and had a big series in Colorado, his old stomping grounds. Holliday takes strike one. 305, 14 homers, 44 runs batted in. 182 against Houston. He's been selected to his 4th All-Star team, and he'll be participating in his 2nd home run derby. Keppinger at second base. That's in the air, and Hunter Pence moves in right field. Pujols sometimes acts like he's a speed merchant on the bases. That time holding on. 2 outs. That was very shallow. He runs hard. John Jay has really filled in capably in right field for the injured Ludwig. 8-game hitting streak for Jay. 368 average, 3 homers, 9 runs batted in, and he's hit .333 against the Astros in only 3 at-bats. Pretty good looking player. He had 2 doubles in the game last night. And Wednesday he went 3 for 5 with a homer. He's been called up twice this season by the Cardinals from their AAA Memphis club, and he played well there. He was their player of the month for April in their system. Ball 1 for Norris. Bud Norris with 7 shutout innings in San Diego got a no decision on Saturday. Jay tied with Herrera of Colorado, also Martin and Polanco, the current longest streaks in the league. It's 2-0.
It's kind of a funky approach at home plate there, the way he kind of holds his hands back behind his body and then gets him rocking, trying to develop some rhythm. Does have the advantage of being a newbie in that the pitchers don't have much of a book on him.
There's a lot of hand movement there. Fly ball left field. Carlos Lee over toward the line for the 3rd out. It's 1 run, 2 hits, and a man left for St. Louis. Adam Wainwright picks them out with a 1-0 lead. Right-hander will face this lineup from Brad Mills tonight. Michael Bourne center field, Jeff Keppinger second base, Lance Berkman first base, Carlos Lee left field, Hunter Pence right field, Jason Castro catcher, Chris Johnson third base, Angel Sanchez shortstop, Bud Norris pitcher. And Wainwright works to Michael Bourne. Throwing strike 1 to Bourne, a .262 hitter with 1 homer, 20 runs batted in. Soon they'll be teammates in Anaheim on the National League All-Star team. 1 ball, 1 strike. The first selection for both of these players as All-Stars.
Looks like the Cardinals are adopting a pitch-away, play-away approach here with Bourne. Rasmus very shallow in center field and pinching the alley in left center. Michael's pulled the ball a little bit with authority here recently.
Curveball bounces and it's 2-2, and that is a terrific curveball. Wainwright throws. Getting all that leverage from the 6'8" frame. He's 4th in the league in ERA. Tied for 3rd in strikeouts. And he also throws a slider His fastball is crisp as well. Just tremendous stuff, JD.
Yeah, big, long right-hander. If we look at the numbers now, 12-5, 2.24 ERA. Last couple of years, you can make a case that he's been the best pitcher in the league. And this year, yielding a 2.12 batting average, 10 home runs, just about a strikeout an inning. Everybody but Adrian Johnson, I think, felt like that was a strike. Michael was starting to backpedal. Molina thought he had him. Wainwright thought he had him. But the guy that really matters is the home plate umpire, and he thought it was inside.
Wainwright, just 28 years old. And Bourne was ready for the inside pitch, but popped it up. Tyler Green gives way. It's caught by Holiday. 1 out.
And the Cardinals defensively have had some issues this year. They set up this way in the outfield. Holiday and Jay with Rasmussen center. Felipe Lopez at third sacker. Tyler Green solid at shortstop. He's going to get a fair amount of playing time now. Brendan Ryan has really struggled both in the field and at the plate. Schumacher and Pujols cover the right side. Molina behind the plate as an all-star again.
Now it's Jeff Keppinger batting. And hitting one to left field. Holiday over. 2 outs for Wainwright. Right-handed batters are hitting .219 against this pitcher. Last year finished third in the Cy Young voting. He led the league in wins with 19 and in innings with 233.
Had some injuries to their pitching staff. Brad Penny on the disabled list. Kyle Loesch as well. The big three, Wainwright, Chris Carpenter, and the rookie Jaime Garcia have been very good. They're 33 and 21. The Cardinals are when one of those three guys is the starting pitcher.
And Dave Duncan has loved the results of those three. And Wainwright shut out the Astros for 8 innings in a 5-0 win in St. Louis back on April 12th. Lance Berkman gets a pitch upstairs. Ball 1 to Lance. 12 homers, 43 runs batted in, a .253 average. He has sizzled against the Cardinals with 5 hits and 9 at-bats, including 2 homers. Has 2 career homers against Wainwright. The shift is on, putting the second baseman Schumacher in right field. And it's 2-0 as you see how the Cardinals stack it up defensively. Wainwright 8-1 lifetime with a 1.72 ERA against the Astros. And the appeal went to third. No swing.
I think when Wainwright's trying to get a swing, he's going to try to go in on Lance. He doesn't want to leave him anything middle away that he could swing at, especially in terms of a fastball. He'll throw that changeup away, maybe back to a breaking ball, but I think in terms of the fastball, he's going to throw a lot of pitches in. And there's a two-seamer running back to the inside corner.
Wainwright had another outstanding outing, a complete game win over Milwaukee on Sunday, 7-1. 5-hitter, no walks. Cuts that one in, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Berkman, though, has hit 5 homers in his last 4 games. Last time he did that was in the 04 season in late August. And an ERA, there's Wainwright, 4th on the active leader list.
Really first because the top 3 are relievers and they don't count.
Berkman works a walk.
I mean, they count, but
Different
it's
category.
a different category. They
Really
pitch an inning at a time.
Yeah. Wainwright usually piles on the innings. He's piled on 128 this year. Berkman just drew his 45th walk. Lee has had very little success against Wainwright. 1 for 23. 240 average overall this year. 12 homers, 44 driven in.
Depending on your perspective, Wainwright either owns Lee or Carlos is really due to do some damage.
There's ball 1. Sean Berry was talking about that around the batting cage tonight. He said he and Carlos had discussed this pitcher. How Carlos has struggled against him so much. Bounces this one to the left side. Tyler Green with a throw to second, and he gets him again. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded. 1-0 Redbirds after 1.
like to recognize Strickland Chevrolet for their support of Pearland Little League. For more information on Chevy's commitment to Youth League baseball programs, please visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
Good Friday night here. There will be fireworks after the game. The weather will permit. We're pretty sure of that. So young and old, they have come to watch the Astros and Cardinals play, and then the fireworks afterwards. Tyler Green takes, and the second inning begins with ball one for Bud Norris.
Don't give up on that pitch right there. Both pitchers have taken shots at that outside corner down, and Adrian Johnson hasn't called it, but you can't give up on it.
Punched up the right field line and landing in play and going to the wall. Tyler Green heads for second base, and he's being stopped there by Jose Oquendo. He wanted him to round the bag, which he did, and then stopped him on the third Cardinal double of the night.
Tyler Green, maybe the fastest base runner that the Cardinals had. He had designs on third base. Oquendo said, settle in right there, big fella. It's a leadoff double. We're good with that. Hunter anticipating a little bit better kickoff that wall, and it died on him. An opportunity now for the Cardinals at the bottom of their order to push a run across.
And the slumping Yadier Molina at 226 with 3 homers has 33 runs batted in. He's been in a tailspin, but he was voted to the All-Star team again for his second straight start. Good pick out of the dirt there by Jason Castro on ball one to Molina.
Yeah, well, another catcher, Brian McCann, is going, right? Miguel Olivo is having a heck of a first half.
Yeah, that's an omission. You're right. Well, Molina going so badly that he was bunting yesterday initially on a first and third situation in Colorado, trailing 4-1. And a pickoff attempt went to third, and he wound up swinging away and bounced into a double play again. 2 balls, no strikes. That's been a distinct threat with him at the plate this year. He's grounded into a dozen double plays. Well, that's why the Cardinals have to love that leadoff double. Two balls and a strike. Bud Norris 4-0 and 4 career starts against the Redbirds with a 0.35 ERA.
It's amazing how many Cardinal people say, what? Other teams hit him. What does he do against us? What's so different about him? I don't know. I think he's going to end up pitching good against a lot of other clubs, and he has done that. He was very good against San Diego last time out. And sooner or later, the Cardinals are going to put some runs on the board against them. Hopefully, it's not tonight.
Molina punches one to second. Keppinger over to Berkman as the runner moves to third. Tyler Green on out number 1.
Yeah, you get the sense just with that swing of the bat how bad things are going for Molina. More than content just to take a half swing and chop that ball on the ground.
Now the Cardinals have Green at third for pitcher Adam Wainwright, and the infield comes in. Wainwright drove in 3 with a double in his last game.
Yeah, that's his Gold Glove winner last year, and he's a very good hitting pitcher too. So he's the complete package.
74 with 4 driven in. Another strike one for Wainwright.
But crossing him up there, threw him a little slide piece. Wainwright guessing fastball.
Wainwright has 8 hits in 46 at bats. 4 of them have been doubles.
That's the key for a pitcher as a hitter. You don't want to be so good that all of a sudden everybody's onto you. They start treating you like a real hitter, and you.
Well, he's good enough to bat 8th for Tony La Russa in this lineup. Skip Schumacher on deck. That one rolls foul, and it's 1-2. And the fact that Astros skipper Brad Mills has brought his infield in here early in the ball game, indicative of Wainwright and his prowess on the mound, how tough it is to beat him when he gets any kind of run support.
That and where the Cardinals are in their order. You know, if this was Pujols on deck, they'd probably have the infield back.
Oh, he went up the ladder and struck out. 2 down.
He's tall, but he's not that tall.
It's a tall ladder.
That's that rung you're not supposed to step on. You fall off. That's the one they put the little sign on. Don't go above this spot right here.
Not much future in that. Now Schumacher with Chris Johnson, the third baseman, stationed on the grass. He smashes one by the shortstop Sanchez for an RBI single and a 2-0 Cardinal lead. He hit it hard through the left side for his 20th run batted in.
And you see Chris Johnson really shortened up there, and just an inside-out swing as Schumacher is able to carve that ball. It's just beyond the reach of Angel Sanchez.
Felipe Lopez hit a fly ball to center leading off the game. We strike one to him. David Freese, who was the regular third baseman before he got hurt, is expected back after the All-Star break, as is Ryan Ludwig, the right fielder.
Well, the Astros catch a break in missing Ludwig because he's been wearing Astro pitching out this year.
Yes, he has. 0-2 to Lopez, who's bounced around from team to team after being a first-round pick of the Blue Jays. Felipe now 30 years old. He was with Cincinnati, Washington, Milwaukee. This is his second stint with the Cardinals. Lopez had to sit out for a few days earlier this season after he strained a right elbow that was already tender when he pitched in that 20-inning game April 17th.
He's got the best ERA in the club.
Bounces one to Keppinger. Over to Berkman, and the Cardinals are setting up a picket fence with another run in the second inning on 2 hits. They strand a man, and it's 2-0. Over the fence, Pence. Hunter Pence leads it off in the bottom of the second inning. Astros trail 2-0. They'd certainly take one of those from a .260 hitter with 12 homers, 39 runs batted in. Wainwright delivers, and it's ball one. Hunter has hit one career homer off Wainwright. Ground ball goes to shortstop. Tyler Green. 1 out, time for the Jack in the Box standings. Cardinals pitchers with the lowest ERA before the All-Star break since 1969. We'll show you Steve Carlton with a 1.65 in 69 before the break. Then it's Bob Tewksbury, John Tudor, Jaime Garcia. The outstanding rookie is fourth, and Adam Wainwright is fifth.
Wainwright on the All-Star team. Jaime Garcia is not.
Jason Castro called a fine game for Roy Oswald yesterday. Takes ball 1. Caught the one-hit shutout against the Pirates. 175, 1 homer, 1 RBI. He and Humberto Quintero were out for early hitting today. This one in the air and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wainwright, the type of pitcher who has dominant stuff. Astros have found him to be a tough man to crack. It's 2-1. Sometimes he throws the big curve early in the count to get ahead. If it's coming with 2 strikes, he can really do a number on a hitter. That's out into center field, and Rasmus stays with it.
Good job there by Jason, staying back on a changeup. Hit it sharply, but Rasmus playing a shallow center field, able to come in and take away the base hit. Good look at it there. Changeup drifting down and away, but Castro keeps that front shoulder in, stays on it, puts a good swing on it. Nothing to show for it. Sean Barry will give him a hey, attaboy. Good approach.
Chris Johnson got some counsel before this game about facing Wainwright from Jason Michaels. There's strike 1 as he swings at the fastball. 3-0-1 for Chris with 8 runs batted in. Well, that curve is a very tough pitch to hit. Normally fastball early in the count is something the hitter will try to go for against Wainwright. This one out to shortstop on 1 bounce. Tyler Green turns it into out number 3, and after 2 it's 2-0 Cardinals.
And 2-0. Join the Astros for Faith and Family Night on Saturday, July 31st. After the 6:05 game against the Brewers, stick around for the event, including a player testimony by Lance Berkman and concert with Jars of Clay. Tickets start at just $7. Go to Astros.com to get those tickets. Brownie, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. Good crowd here watching a 2-0 game. Cardinals lead it. Bud Norris working to Colby Rasmus. Ball 1 to Rasmus, who started the Cardinal scoring in the first inning with a double to right, coming home on a Pujols double. Rasmus hits that one in the air, foul. It's 1-1 to the first round pick in the 05 draft. Colby from Columbus, Georgia. Just 23. Broke Bo Jackson's Alabama state record with 24 home runs at Phoenix City. Norris with the slider throws it for a strike to go in front. 1-2 with Pujols and Holiday to follow.
Well, Rasmus showing that quick bat, turning on that fastball last time up, but has gotten strikes with first the changeup and now a backdoor slider.
And he gets a strikeout on Rasmus. Number 2 for Bud.
Nice adjustment there by Norris and Castro. Coming off that fastball effectively. Changeup, slider to finish him off. And again, that's one thing you can't forget if you're Norris and Castro. This guy strikes out a bunch, so you don't have to throw him too many strikes.
Pujols worked the count full and then had the RBI double to right center. Norris leads all major league starters in strikeouts per 9 innings, 10.51. Ball 1 to Pujols.
Just looking at Bud's numbers. Coming into this start, he had pitched exactly as many innings this year as he did last year after he came to the big leagues. He had allowed 4 more hits and 5 more walks, but 9 more runs. All 9 of those, essentially, those base runners have all scored, and that's why his ERA is about a run plus higher this year than in his work last year. Not meaningful in any way, but when you look at those numbers, sometimes you just start to get carried away with it.
2 balls and a strike. Well, last time out, a fine game for him. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He walked 3 and fanned 5 in that no decision at San Diego. His 2 wins have both come against St. Louis. That's foul away. Hunter Pence going over for a look.
Both those games in St. Louis, but a winless here in this ballpark this year. 0-3 ERA of 7.89 at Minute Maid Park. Take a look at Fox Tracks, and you see he's trying to stay away from Albert. And now maybe thinking about coming in. Castro was anyway, but said, no, let's go back out there.
Bounces ball 3. Full count to Pujols.
Full count last time, and Pujols rocketed the ball into right center field on a fastball.
Like that one hit Adrian Johnson. Pujols fouls it away. Cincinnati got 3 in the first at Philadelphia and leads 6-1 now in the bottom of the 6th. Joe Blanton has given up all 6 runs for the Phillies. And Mike Leake pitching well with home run support from Johnny Gomes, his 11th. The Texas Rangers got their pitcher today, trading for Cliff Lee of Seattle. Tappinger, good pickup. Sharply hit grounder, 2 outs.
Ball had a lot of pace on it. Yeah, Cliff Lee, a Texas Ranger, a ballpark where he has not been very good in his career. He had an ERA over 7 at that ballpark. Of course, making those starts against that Ranger team. Now he'll be on their side. Interesting, though, because all day long, all you heard was the Cliff Lee deal to the Yankees is just about done. They just have to dot the I's and cross the T's. And then the next thing you know, I turn on the radio, and it's Cliff Lee is going to the Texas Rangers.
Yeah. And he was expected to pitch tonight in Seattle against the Yankees. If the deal had not been made.
That would have given the Yankees 4 all-star pitchers. That's only happened once in history, the 1942 Cincinnati Reds.
Ooh.
Johnny Vandermeer.
Matt Holliday hit a fly ball to right in the first inning.
I'm glad he didn't go to the Yankees. You know, it's just enough of the Yankees.
They have such an embarrassment of riches that apparently if they had traded for him, the plan, according to some reports, was for them to then trade the pitcher they signed from the Braves to someone else. Javier Vasquez. 2 balls, no strikes.
You know, the Rangers gave up Justin Smoke, and folks that saw him here, he's a very good young player, and he's going to be good for Seattle probably for a good long while. And then the other big name, or the most intriguing name, is the pitcher, the big right-hander, Blake Blevins or something to that effect. Former #1 pick.
3-0 to Holliday.
Interesting, both those clubs willing to make that deal within the division.
3 balls and a strike.
And Holliday's been swinging a hot bat, so green lighting him on 3-0. Thought he was going to get a fastball. Bud countered with a good slider.
John Jay is on deck. And it's fouled away. Full count to Holliday. 2 holes and Holliday back-to-back in this lineup. Present a lot of firepower for an opposing pitcher. Holliday last year hit 24 homers. He drove in 109, coming from Oakland to St. Louis in that trade, and then signing as a free agent. Keppinger to his left. Over to Berkman for a 1-2-3 third for Norris. 2-0 Cardinals.
By the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. Happy anniversary, Dirk. July 9th, 1976. Larry Dierker tosses the 5th no-hitter in franchise history. 6-0 blanking of the Montreal Expos. And he had a sacrifice fly, too.
And strike 1 to Sanchez, leading it off. Wainwright has a 2-0 lead here in the 3rd inning. Angel taking, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Bud Norris coming up next. He is really up against it now. And the curve is out of the zone. It's 1-2 to Sanchez. Wainwright's had a very consistent year so far. Ground ball, 3rd, foul.
Wainwright, at least we're catching him in the right place. And that is on the road. At home, he's 9-0. Outside of St. Louis, 3-5, an ERA of 3.20. That just misses being a leadoff double.
His whip, walks and hits per innings pitched, is 1.00. Curveball tapped through the left side, and Sanchez was able to hang in after falling behind 0-2 in the count. Get a curveball he could put in between 3rd and short for the first hit of the game for the Astros.
The key when facing a guy like Wainwright is just don't get greedy. If you're down in the count, you got to be willing to just hang in there and battle, not try to put too big of a swing on it. He stayed back nicely on that curveball.
Base runners usually find themselves at a premium against this big right-hander. Bud Norris expected to bunt here, has 3 sacrifices, 1 hit in 17 at-bats for Bud. Michael Bourne on deck with Lopez in tight at 3rd. And the bunt is out in front of the plate. Molina, strike on catcher, throws, and there's the stretch by Schumacher. Sacrifice is good. On 2-4, and Sanchez moves over.
A nice bunt there by Bud Norris. Don't try to be too fine with it. Just deadening it out in front of home plate. You got a guy at first base who can run a little bit, so you don't have to be perfect. That's a dandy. Boy, you get into a game like this against a top-notch starting pitcher, and you have to execute.
Sanchez at second, and Michael Bourne the batter. Michael worked the count full, hit a fly ball to left in the first. Wainwright in April was 4-1 with a 2.13 ERA. And the other months have been similar. First pitch curve goes for ball one in May, 3-2 with a 241. In June, 4-2 with a 245. So he's on one of those Cy Young paces to this point of the season.
His problem is there's about 9 other guys that are on Cy Young paces too. And most notably Ubaldo with 15 wins out there in Colorado, which beat the Cardinals last night.
1 ball, 1 strike. It has been a phenomenal year for great pitching throughout baseball. Josh Johnson leads the league in ERA at 1.70.
Wainwright's on a Cy Young pace, but Ubaldo's on a Christy Mathewson or Walter Johnson. I don't know, name your legend pace.
15 wins for Ubaldo.
He's on a Denny McLain pace.
Yeah. That's 3-1 to Bourne.
Denny McLain, the last pitcher in Major League Baseball to win 30 games in a season. He did it in 1968. He's the only guy to do it since Dizzy Dean in 1934.
Bourne fouls it away. It's a full count again to Michael. Now, Sean Berry was talking about this very thing. He said, against Wainwright, you can find yourself facing him in the 4th inning, and he's thrown about 50 pitches. And the tendency is to tell yourself, well, we need to work the count a little bit. He said, no, you need to kind of keep the mindset. That first pitch that you see that's worth hitting, go ahead and go for it. Rolled out to second. Schumacher to Pujols to get Bourne. Sanchez to third, 2 outs. And now Keppinger will try for the RBI hit. He hit a fly ball to left earlier.
Well, you know, it's interesting because there's different schools of thought. One, yeah, if you wait and you fall behind Wainwright, then you have to deal with that curveball with 2 strikes. It's going to be difficult to get much done. Other people would say, well, even with that, if you can work some counts and possibly extend his pitch count and get him out of there in the 6th or 7th inning, you got a shot or 2 at, you know, that bullpen that you wouldn't have otherwise. So a more patient approach might not allow you to do much against Wainwright, but it might get you into the bullpen. You may have a chance to win the game later on.
The Cardinals have had bullpen problems recently.
If you go up there hacking against this guy, you could be down 2-0 in the 8th inning, and he's thrown 73 pitches, and you're not going to see anybody in that pen.
1-1 to Keppinger. Keppinger was born in Miami, lives in Georgia. Georgia is Wainwright's home state. Rolled out to shortstop. Green takes care of the 3rd out. No runs, a hit, and a man stranded at third base. It's 2-0 Cardinals.
for our progressive fan of the game. You know, we showed you a graphic a moment ago about some great Cardinals pitchers over the years and that great year Steve Carlton had in 1969. Well, in 1969, our progressive fan of the game was leading the University of Texas into the game of the 20th century against Arkansas. James Street, good to see you again.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Does it seem like that was 41 years ago, the game of the century?
It's craziness. And people still ask me about it and say, well, what were you thinking on this? And I said, 40 years ago? I don't know what I was thinking yesterday, much less 40 years ago.
What do you remember about that game?
Well, it was a great year. 69 was kind of an unusual year anyway, but they pulled that game out of the middle of the year, put it at the end of the year. President Nixon came to the game. He came in the locker room after the game, talked to us all, and it was a great game. And it was so glad for all of us. And so at the time after that game, I got to go and meet Elvis, and Bill Medley, all these guys that had watched that game because it was the only game on TV that day, on national TV. And so I was very lucky, very fortunate to come out and win the ball game, and people still ask me about it.
Also pitched for the Longhorn baseball team on the same staff as Bert Hooton that year. Your son Houston's playing for the Colorado Rockies. Just all kinds of stuff going on with you.
Well, I've been blessed. Been awful lucky, and I think you work hard. As Coach Ross says, you know, the harder you work, the luckier you get. But you still got to get lucky and smile and look for the good sometimes.
Well, it's great to see you again, and congratulations for being our progressive fan of the game. I know that's going to make a lot of the Aggies mad out there. Sorry about that.
I love your ads. I love your ads.
Brownie, back to you.
Well, there's one out in the inning. That was great to hear from him. And he was thinking in the fourth quarter, I've got to find Randy Peschel deep down the left sideline. It's a foul ball there by
Did you watch that game, Brad?
Yeah, that was a tremendous game.
And folks who listen to that interview, and you know who Elvis is. Bill Medley was one of the Righteous Brothers. I imagine people. Bill Medley, who's that?
That's true.
Especially some of our younger viewers.
Yeah, they were really good. No balls, 2 strikes.
They were Vegetable Medley, and Bill Medley was a Righteous Brother.
Oh, yeah. Jay hit the ground, and
doesn't mean anything to them either.
Now Bud with a little bit bigger slider that time. Not enough to tempt Tyler Green. Behind him 1-2. Bud beat Adam Wainwright 2-0 at St. Louis August 2nd of 2009 in his first major league start. He had a no-hitter through 5. He got a hit in the game. Just a spectacular time to make a debut. Had a career high 9 strikeouts in 5 innings this April 15th at St. Louis when he beat Kyle Loesch 5-1. And he beat Chris Carpenter 4-1 in St. Louis. Strike 3. Green is caught looking on the 3rd strikeout for Norris.
Well, that's that pitch I was talking about earlier. You can't give up on. It's been tough to get Adrian Johnson to call it, but you got to keep pounding away out there. And this time the fastball runs back to the outside corner, high enough for Johnson. Just a perfectly placed fastball there. And Bud's done some nice work here, coming back to get Holiday to end the 3rd, and then that strikeout there. He's showing pretty good command.
Yadier Molina will be next. He led all major league catchers in starts last year. Started 136 games. He grounded out in the 2nd inning. That got Green from 2nd to 3rd, and he later scored.
Oh yeah, and Richard Nixon was president of the United States once too. Historical factoid.
Yeah, that was.
He did a pretty good Nixon too.
He did a good Nixon. Two balls, no strikes.
Hey. Pretty good pitch, Adrian.
What I like about Bud's slider is he's been keeping it down pretty well, like that last one.
Yeah. Yo, Adrian. It's right there.
Ah, that's that spot you're talking about. On the fastball, it's 2-1.
God, he kisses that metal after every pitch.
3 balls and a strike.
There he goes.
The speed up measures in the game. It's a quick kiss. And a strike there makes it a full count.
Yeah, it's a good thing he's not keeping it in his back pocket.
Bud and Wainwright with a good pace tonight. Shaking off Castro now. Detroit leads Minnesota at Detroit 7-1 after 5 tonight. Foul back. It's a good battle between two contenders in the AL Central. The Tigers lead the Twins by 2, and the White Sox are only a half game out. Boston is ripping away at Toronto 13-0 Red Sox after 5.
It's Strasmus in the nation's capital.
Oh, yeah. Fly ball. Carlos Lee moves in. And in the 4th, the Cardinals go down in order. That's 7 straight outs for Bud Norris and a 2-0 lead for St. Louis. Dealers showing you the active players with the most career runs batted in against the Cardinals. Lance Berkman is the top dog in that department at 118, and Ramos Ramirez has 88. Adam Dunn with 68 is third. Then it's Jason Kendall and Chipper Jones. Adam Wainwright has a 2-0 lead. The Astros have 1 hit through the first 3. Lance Berkman drew a walk in the first. He's the other base runner other than Sanchez, who had the single. Strike 1 for Wainwright. That Strasmus game, Washington 4, San Francisco 1, bottom of the 6th inning.
Strasburg out of the game now. Drew Storm out of the bullpen working now. Strasburg 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, struck out 8. And back on track.
Yeah, he is. 2.32 ERA for the season. 0-2 to Berkman. Lance fouls it. Well, Lance has been on a home run tear recently. That left-handed stroke going to left field recently.
He might have to turn on one against Wainwright tonight to hit one out of here.
1-2. Wainwright has allowed 10 long balls in 131 innings. His last 2 starts, he's yielded 1 earned run in 15 1/3 innings, beating Arizona 8-0 and Milwaukee 7-1. He's been shut out 3 times on the road. That speaks to that stat you gave us earlier, 3-5 with a 3.20 road ERA. 2-2 now. And the curveball gets a strikeout for Wainwright. That's his first.
Pretty good battle here, ultimately won by Wainwright as he throws this nasty 2-2 curveball. Lance looking for that cutter in again. And again, if you're going to try to get to the inside cutter or fastball, you got to be a little bit quicker. He gets it started, and Wainwright just throws him a nasty curveball.
Carlos Lee with ball one. Bounced into a force play in the first inning. And it's 2-0 to El Caballo, our budding niche in St. Louis. And it's a stat on Wainwright and Carpenter. This is the 31st time since they've both been with the Cardinals that Carpenter and Wainwright have started back-to-back games. And they've both lost only once in those back-to-back starts. Last year at New York, Carpenter, and the next day, 2 days later after a day off at St. Louis against Minnesota, Wainwright lost. Carpenter lost yesterday. 3-0 the count. Ball four. Lee takes a 4-pitch walk, the second walk for Wainwright. Hunter Pence will be following. He hit a ground to shortstop in the second.
Chris Carpenter is certainly having a good year. He too an all-star. 9-3, 329. So not quite as dominant as he was last year. Had some tougher outings. Given up 14 home runs this year has Carpenter. Yesterday's biggest problem was he just ran into Ubaldo.
Pence is a .293 career hitter against the Redbirds. Double play set up on the infield. Lays off that one, and it's ball one. Wainwright threw the slider that time to Hunter. That might have been a good double play pitch had he made contact with it. Castro's on deck. Cardinals have had some defensive problems this year. In the air, and the left side of the infield goes to work. Tyler Green wants it. 2 outs.
Hunter really upset with himself. That was a hanging slider. And he just pulled off it a little bit.
Jason Castro hit a fly ball to center on a changeup in the second inning. Now the players talk about that with Wainwright. Try to get a breaking ball that hangs. Select that as the one you want to hit. This pitcher looks like he's in for a great career at the pace that he set in the early going. Foul ball, strike one to Castro.
Well, Castro's batting average now 171. He needs something good to happen here. He's only had 41 major league at bats this year. And one of the reasons I think the Astros felt comfortable bringing him up maybe a little bit earlier than they wanted to. But he's such a mature guy, such a smart player, and a mature guy. I don't think they're worried about him crumbling if he struggles early in his major league career.
It's 0-2. Wainwright, like Castro, a first-round draft choice. Atlanta took Adam Wainwright, traded him to the Cardinals in December of 2003. Along with Ray King and Jason Marquis for J.D. Drew and Eli Marrero. In his career, he's won 58 and lost 29. Curveball's fouled.
That's what you're trying to do. You get down in the count. You just want to spoil that tough breaking pitch and stay alive.
Astros have beaten the Cardinals in 7 of their last 9 meetings here in Houston. Lee draws a throw from Wainwright.
I was just thinking this would be a good time for one of Carlos' sneak attack stolen bases.
Yeah.
2 strikes, 2 outs on the hitter.
As Johnson's on deck. Carlos edging off first, then he stops and it's fouled.
He was trying to time Wainwright, and Wainwright held the ball on him, so he had to shut it down.
Wainwright grew up in Brunswick, Georgia. The Braves were his team. He was 10 when they went from worst to first in 1991. He didn't miss a game on TV, he said in one article. Dale Murphy was his favorite player. He was real big on Steve Avery. Up the right field area and in for a hit in front of John Jay. And here's Carlos going from first to third on a looping single by Castro. That is an outstanding job after falling behind 0-2 in the count.
That's 2 good at-bats for Jason tonight. Not rewarded last time he hit that line drive to center that Rasmus was able to catch, but this time hanging in there with 2 strikes, fouling off 1 curveball, and then going down and getting this one. Great swing of the bat. An opportunity for Chris Johnson now to deliver.
CJ grounded to short in the second inning. Sanchez on deck. Jason Michaels was trying to help him with facing Wainwright before the game tonight. He told him, try to look for a breaking ball that hangs. That one was down in the dirt, ball 1. Sometimes Wainwright will throw that first pitch curve or slider, that get ahead pitch. And it won't have quite the bite that it might if he throws it with 2 strikes in the count. Two and 0.
This is probably the time to sell out on a fastball and cheat on one and try to yank one. And if he throws you an off-speed pitch and you get fooled, it's just 1 strike.
He has been tough as nails against the Astros. The most runs he's given up 3. That was in a complete game. That went way outside, and it's 3-0. You get the sense that Wainwright just doesn't have that command tonight that he has in the past.
Well, I thought he'd been going along nicely till the lead walk. And I thought Castro would hit a heck of a pitch.
Three and 1.
Well, how about that? Talk about not wanting to give in. And if you're Chris Johnson, now you step out and you're kind of scratching your head. Okay, he just threw me that 3-0 hook, so I can't sit fastball. Looks like they're going to come in with one now. He was ready for it.
3-2 now. Wainwright said the guy he really patted himself after was John Smoltz with the Braves, especially his competitiveness. And in the postseason, he was tremendous. Said he even broke down Smoltz's mechanics with his minor league roving pitching instructor, Rick Adair. Moving from first, and it's hit out of play.
And the guy he reminds me of is his teammate Carpenter. I think his delivery is very similar to Carpenter's.
Yeah. And we've been told, spend a lot of time together right now. 62 pitches for Wainwright.
See, this is a nice inning for the Astros. Obviously, you want to get that runner home from third. But even if you don't, you made him work awfully hard here.
His last 2 starts against Houston have produced shutout ball for 8 innings. Castro going, and it's a strikeout for Wainwright to end the 4th inning threat for the Astros. His second strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left, 2-0 Cardinals. by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150. By AT&T. And by Gullo Ford and Gullo Toyota. Cloudy night in downtown Houston. The Cardinals lead at 2-0 after 4 over the Astros. They've out-hit Houston 4-2. Fans hoping Bud Norris can continue what he's been doing. He has set down 7 in a row. And he'll face his mound opponent, Adam Wainwright, leading it off in the 5th. He struck him out earlier. Wainwright takes ball 1. The Redbirds are 19-15 against the Central Division teams. Fly ball to right. Hunter Pence handles out number 1. We go to Bart Ennis.
Well, Bill, we want to remind fans that they can see 10 Astros games for just $20. For a limited time, you can get an outfield deck seat to 10 select Astros games for only $20 with the 10 for $20 plan. That's just $2 a game and a savings of $50 per plan. Now, this offer is only available online, so go to Astros.com to get yours today. Bill, back to you.
Thanks, Bart. Schumacher, the batter now. He's singled through the left side. A key 2-out hit for the Redbirds in the 2nd inning that made it 2-0. Strike 1 to Schumacher. Cardinals sometimes bat the pitcher 8th, and that is the case tonight. Schumacher followed up that Wainwright strikeout with his productive single. No balls, 2 strikes.
Hey, nice form down there.
Yeah.
The ball boy.
Ball boy.
He's working it, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's working it.
He has a very good seat tonight.
Taking the helmet off. Flashing those locks.
It was nothing, ma'am. Nothing at all.
I'll protect you. Don't worry. I've got you covered.
I do it for all the ladies. Challenge for him is to keep his eyes on the field tonight.
Yeah, come out and field a double, and then it'll be all she wrote.
Slap to third base. Chris Johnson has it. Guns out. Schumacher. He really let that one fly for out number 2. Schumacher hustling up the line. Felipe Lopez is flying to center and grounded out. Mets and Braves are tied 2-2. They've played 6 at Citi Field in New York. Tommy Hanson started. He's out of the game after 5 2/3 for Atlanta. It's R.A. Dickey continuing his great run for the Mets.
Dickey last time out was matched up with Strasburg, I believe. Now he gets Tommy Hanson, another young phenom. All right, just throwing that knuckleball. You guys can throw 96, 99 if you want. And just float this baby up there.
Boy, has he ever saved that staff. 1-1 to Lopez. Carlos Beltran expected back for the Mets later on this month.
Well, that's a good midseason pickup. We can attest to that.
1-2.
He joined the Astros.
Wow.
And what he did in the postseason.
Yeah, he just went off in the postseason. He drove in 9 runs in September that year. Then he got hot. And a strikeout for Norris. Makes it 10 straight outs. That's his 4th strikeout. He keeps it close, 2-0 Cardinals. It's 2-0. The Cardinals lead it. There's been a lot of well-pitched games over the years between St. Louis and Houston. This one falling into that category, going to the bottom of the 5th inning with a 2-0 lead for big Adam Wainwright facing Sanchez. And Sanchez singled his first time up. Angel looking at that pitch, strike one. The Astros have 2 singles off Wainwright. 2 runners have been stranded at third base for them tonight. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Angel. Grounded to second. Schumacher. 1 out. AT&T has trivia for us tonight.
All righty then.
Let's see what we have for you.
Dizzy Dean.
Name the 5 pitchers, the only 5 with at least 13 wins before the All-Star break since 05.
Okay, so it's not Dizzy Dean. No. Since 2005. I'm going to go with Ubaldo Jimenez. I'll contribute that one.
That's solid. Bud Norris put down a sac bunt earlier. And takes strike one. 13 wins before the break. Let's see.
Been the big winners in recent years. Lincecum?
Yeah.
Greinke last year?
Yeah.
How did he do?
Well, he didn't win that many. He had a great ERA. Let's see. Carpenter.
This guy.
Wainwright.
This including 2005?
Yeah. Yes.
Because the Astros did all their damage in the second half.
Yeah. Strikeout number 3 for Wainwright.
Just Major Leagues or National League?
I forgot what it said. Major League. How about Mark Burley?
Huh. Good question. Well, Josh Johnson this year.
Johnson. Yeah. Dan Herron.
Brandon Webb.
Brandon Webb, yeah. Michael Bourne takes ball 1. He's worked the count full both times. Hit a fly ball to left and a ground ball to second. And now bunting. Molina is not able to get him. He couldn't pick the ball up, and Bourne has not had a bunt single in a while.
Well done there. Even though you got a very athletic pitcher on the mound and Yadier Molina, a very good defensive catcher with Bourne speed, you disregard all that. If you can make a good bunt, you're probably going to have a knock. That play, the only lacking was the sound effect. We knew. And the Roadrunners going down the line. Wile E. Coyote's not going to throw him out.
That's bunt hit number 6 for him. Now, the last time he faced Wainwright, Bourne stole a base, but then later on he was picked off by Wainwright.
Well, I think if you're going to bunt with 2 outs, you've got to be committed to trying to steal the base. Because 2 outs is normally time you're looking for an extra base hit, but because of his legs, he can turn a single into a double.
And tough to steal on Wainwright this year. Michael with 20 infield hits is the NL leader. 6 of those bunt singles. Only been a couple of stolen bases with Wainwright on the mound, and Molina really is one of the great throwing catchers in the game. But we were talking about this with Brad Mills a few days ago, and Michael really likes to know what the pitcher's time is to the plate, and that's a big factor with him. But yet with the great base stealers, and Brad agreed, that really shouldn't be as big a factor with the really speedy guys.
And again, it depends on the situation too. I mean, if it's a situation where there's not a sense of urgency, you pay attention to that clock maybe a little bit more. But 2 outs in the inning, it's a time to gamble. And then the best base stealers are willing to take risks. Sometimes guys don't want to go because they want to protect that percentage. But there are other times where, as a manager, you say, hey, go ahead, go for it. They throw you out, so what? We can live with that. We got Keppinger leading off the next inning in front of Berkman. We can handle that. And that's part of learning the game. Michael has all the tools, and he is a good base stealer. Gets good jumps. He steals at a very high percentage. And then the next phase is learning when should I play cautious and when do I throw caution to the wind, regardless of how quick the guy is to home plate and how good the guy is behind the plate. If I get thrown out, so be it.
2-1. He's going to go. It's going to be on this next pitch.
And you know, you cannot completely rule out a pitch out in this situation because Wainwright does have such good command. He struggled a little bit here in the last couple innings, but never completely stunned by what Tony La Russa does. It's very rare to a 2-1 pitch out, especially with Berkman on deck, and then you'd be facing Keppinger 3-1. So, you know, I give it less than a 2% chance, but I guess you just can't rule it out completely.
Molina has thrown out 43% this year, 15 of 35. Horn's going. Good jump. Molina's throw bounces and he is pulled out. How can that be unless it came off the base? Andy Fletcher called him out, and Bourne is absolutely irate about that. We'll get a look at it when we come back with a score of 2-0 Cardinals. Time now for the Coors Light freeze cam on a Michael Bourne attempted steal. Yadier Molina. Well, here's the, we'll get to that in a moment, but this is the base hit through the left side on a curveball by Sanchez in the third. The Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by the Frostproof Coors Light. That's the first hit of the ball game for the Astros in the third inning. We'll show you the stolen base attempt. Here it is as Michael Bourne was called out by Andy Fletcher.
Very close. Initially it looked like he was going to be in there, but the throw is right on that left hip. Schumacher does a heck of a job handling that in-between hop, and then Michael slides into it. That was so close. I thought maybe he was in there, but that was a tough one to call.
Colby Rasmus looks at ball one. He doubled and scored in the first, struck out in the third inning. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count, so Bud Norris trailing 2-0. Needs to keep clamping down the Cardinals. He has retired 10 in a row since the Schumacher single in the second. Keppinger, Berkman, and Lee due up in the home sixth. Line to Berkman.
Rasmus can hit a fastball, boy. He turned on that high fastball. Now he drops the head on a low heater. Hits it right on the screws, but right to the Puma.
Albert Pujols has been booed here ever since he hit that home run in the 05 National League Championship Series off Brad Lidge. Over the tracks in left field to send it back to St. Louis for Game 6.
He's like a pro wrestling villain here in St. Louis.
And he has done plenty of regular season damage too. 37 homers against the Astros. 97, 98 runs batted in now, including tonight. 2-0 to Prince Albert. Hit 47 homers to lead the league last year. Nobody's on that kind of a pace this year. And the last time the National League home run champion had fewer than 47 was in the 95 season. Albert's on a pace to hit 40. Chris Johnson fields the grounder. 2 outs.
Bud North's been on quite a roll after that second inning. I want to take a look back at Matt Holliday in the third inning as Bud works to the big slugging outfielder, and he follows behind him 3-0. Fastball, changeup, and then fastball away. And watch the job he does getting back into the count. Slider on 3-0, and then paints the outside corner. And then one more good heater down in the right. Nice job against a dangerous hitter. The 3-0 slider, really the key to the whole thing. Holliday sitting on a fastball, took a wild swing at it, and then Bud took 2 real good heaters over the outside corner.
In tight, ball 1 to Holliday, who's 0 for 2.
The first couple innings, it looked like in terms of his location was a little bit off, but since then he's been pretty darn sharp.
Michael Bourne moves over in center field. Next 13 straight Redbirds set down by Bud Norris. 2-0 Cardinals in the 6th. If you wanted to know, the 5 pitchers with at least 13 wins before the All-Star break since the 05 season: Jimenez, Webb, Willis, Carpenter, and Garland. Forgot about Garland and Willis. Jeff Keppinger gets a first pitch heater and takes strike 1 at 91 miles per hour. He is 0 for 2. He was at the plate when Bourne was thrown out trying to steal to end the 5th. He looks at that one. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count from Wainwright. Wainwright lost a 1-0 game back in May at San Diego. Schumacher.
San Diego's been doing that to a lot of people.
Yeah. Coors Light Cold Hard Blast came from Lance Berkman yesterday during the 2-home run game here against the Pirates.
Four games in a row, 5 home runs total. Also had a triple. 7 out of his last 13 with 5 long ones.
And the fastball's fouled away. There's strike 1. Lance walked in the first. He struck out in the 4th. This is the 4th time in his career he's homered in 4 consecutive games. First time he's done it since 07. That also was the last time any Astros done it. 1-1. Lance has never homered in 5 games in a row. The last Astro to do that was Morgan Ensberg in 06. Base hit through the left side. Shortstop Green was shading up the middle. Berkman hit it by Lopez to his left. And that's hit number 4 for the Astros. They've all been singles.
That's something you rarely see, is the Lance to hit the ball on the ground the other way. We've seen him hit the ball in the air to left field quite a bit.
Ian Albert Pujols, two of the icons in the NL Central, enjoying a comment, and it's Carlos Lee batting. He bounced into a force play and he drew a 4-pitch walk. This one rolls to the shortstop. Green with a toss to second. Schumacher has plenty of time to complete the 6-4-3 double play. Number 93 for the Redbirds. That keeps them in the lead 2-0 through 6. Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by Whataburger, by Chevy, and by TxDOT. Want to win a fuel-saving hybrid? Enter at DriveCleanAcrossAmerica.org. Here in downtown Houston, it's 2-0 Cardinals. Each club with 4 hits, no errors. The youngsters enjoying the food, waiting for the fireworks afterwards. It's been pretty quiet from the bats of both clubs. The Cardinals got a first-inning run and pushed across another in the second. John Jay comes up. He is 0 for 2. Taking a ball 1 for Bud Norris, who has set down 13 Cardinals in a row.
The people who own the country ought to govern it. That's what John Jay said.
He was one of the founders of this country. First Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
Instrumental in writing the Federalist Papers.
We've been doing some work on this. Johnson backs up at third. Jay does not render a decision on that pitch, and it's 3 balls, no strikes. And unlike John Jay of the 1700s, this John probably would lose an appeal. 3 balls and a strike. Doing a nice job with the bat recently, though, filling in for the guy they expect back after the All-Star break, Ludwig, who's one of their big run producers. 3-2 for Bud Norris. Line drive left field. Jay out of the box quickly. Carlos Lee gets in front of it, throws to second to hold him to a single. Well played by Lee, and that is the end of the string of 13 straight Cardinals retired by Norris.
Good swing of the bat there by Jay. You watch all that action in the box, and he just doesn't look like he's going to get ready in time, but he's able to get the hands up and steady as the pitch is being delivered, and that's the key for him. Carlos playing a very deep left field, and able to cut that ball off. And Carlos will give up some singles in front of him, but he does save bases. Balls otherwise would go to the wall. He's able to cut off.
Tyler Green doubled and scored in the second. He struck out looking. Runner goes. Norris looked at second. No play there. He flips to Berkman. And the Cardinals stay out of a forced play by sending Jay on the pitch. One out. The runner at second.
Straight hit and run play. Jay breaking. Bud takes a look. And then the casual flip to first base. That's fine until you lob it over the guy's head.
Yadier Molina bats next. Tim Burdock warming up for Houston. Molina's 0 for 2 tonight. Ground ball. Chris Johnson to his left. Looks the runner back to second. Throws to first. 2 down. We go to Bart Ennis. Bart.
Well, Ben, Kids Free All Summer, presented by Minute Maid, is back this summer. For every full-price adult ticket you purchase in the outfield or view deck sections, you can get up to 2 free tickets for kids 14 and under. And kids can earn rewards for coming to Astros games with the Kids Passport program. Go to Astros.com to get those tickets. Back to you guys.
Thank you, sir. Adam Wainwright, the batter. He is struck out and flied to right. Wainwright was All-State in high school, St. Simons, Georgia. That's a beautiful island, we're told. In both baseball and football. He was a kicker and a wide receiver. Got an athletic background. This fly ball heads for left center field. Michael Bourne handles the third out. It's no runs a hit and the runner stranded. 2-0 Cardinals in the 7th. Point Energy. Fans enjoying their 7th inning stretch. As we recall, the Cardinals scoring a first inning run on back-to-back doubles by Rasmus and Pujols, and then a second inning tally on a 2-out single by Schumacher. Bud Norris has retired 16 of the last 17. He got the 3 outs there in the 7th on only 1 pitch each time. Adam Wainwright has 6 scoreless innings, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He got the double play ball on Lee to end the 6th. And in the 7th inning, it's Pence, Castro, and Johnson due up against Wainwright.
Just another outstanding effort by an Astros starting pitcher. There's been quite a run of them of late. I'm flipping back to my scorebook here, trying to find a game where an Astros starter has given up more than 2 runs. And you got to go back to the Brett Myers game in Milwaukee on that last road trip. Starters have been on quite a roll.
Pence has grounded to short and popped to short. First pitch curve is good for strike one to Hunter. Astros starting pitchers have a 0.88 ERA in the last 8 games combined. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, there's that hanging breaking ball again. This time it was kind of out of the happy zone, up a little bit and in, but nothing wrong with taking a whack at that one.
It's 1-2. 33,224 is the paid attendance. Phillies are rallying in the bottom of the 9th against Cincinnati. They've scored 4. They have 1 out, nobody on right now, trailing 7-5. Mike Leake in the game for the Reds. Up the middle, and that one winds up being an infield single. It took a weird hop right before it got to second. And Schumacher was able to slide and stop it from reaching the outfield, but of no consequence because Hunter Pence was going to beat that out.
Yeah, this ball, I don't know if it hit the mound, it hit Wainwright, hit something. It put all kinds of funky spin on it. Looked, it kicked off his back heel.
Yeah.
And it kicked one way and then back the other. Like a gyroscope.
Look at the turn that ball took. 17th infield hit for Hunter. He's aboard for Castro. Castro hit a curveball on a looping line into right field for a single. He's 1 for 2. And went in for ball 1.
In terms of good at bats, he's 2 for 2.
Yeah, the changeup he hit out to center field could have been a hit back in the 2nd inning. Cardinals set up with Green and Schumacher, double play depth here. One ball, 1 strike to Castro.
And right, the big righty works from the first base side of the rubber. And when he throws that 2-seamer, it runs all the way across the plate to the outside corner. That's when you got to stay on. Don't try to pull it.
Well, he's hit the corner twice now, and it's 1-2. He's at 89 pitches for the game. Nobody warming up for the Redbirds. Wainwright has gone the distance 4 times. Tim Burdack has been warming for the Astros. There's Sampson out there just watching. 1 shutout, 4 complete games for Wainwright of his first 18 starts. And he gets a strikeout. Hit that spot again. 4th strikeout.
Wainwright Molina learned a lesson. Jason hit the changeup hard first time, hit the curveball last time. They stayed with the fastball this at bat. Were able to beat him 2 good ones away and then down and in.
Johnson bounced to short and struck out. It's Cleveland 8, Tampa Bay 2. They're in the bottom of the 8th in St. Petersburg. White Sox shutting out Kansas City 4-0 in the 6th at Chicago. Mark Burley on the mound. Time called. Pittsburgh is winning at Milwaukee 4-2. That's the bottom of the 6th inning there. Paul Maholm. Corey Hart hit his 20th. For Pittsburgh, Andrew McCutchen number 8. Lastings Milledge number 2.
Brewers have lost 5 in a row. The Astros now just 2 games back of Milwaukee for 4th place in the NL Central.
Quick move to first. Lance diving back. There's a long rain delay in Texas with Baltimore and the Rangers waiting to start. We probably would have had a couple of rainouts this week ourselves without a roof here.
Or a couple of really long nights.
I know that. Fly ball hangs left field line, a towering fly that might reach the seats, or it's caught by the left fielder Holiday in foul territory. 2 outs.
Cabot Woodstains brings you this legendary performance, July 9th, 1968. Houston is host to its first All-Star game. Oh, the year of the pitcher in the Astrodome. You know what's going to happen. Absolutely. 1-0. A ball game. National League wins. Willie Mays, most valuable player. The Astros' lone representative in that game was Rusty Staub. He was used as a pinch hitter. Willie Mays, I believe, the only player to be named MVP of the All-Star game twice. How can you name a player in a 1-0 game? It's got to be a pitcher.
He scored the run on a wild pitch, I think.
Yeah.
Jason Michaels is on deck to pinch hit for Bud Norris. There's strike one to Angel Sanchez, who singled in the third and grounded out in the fifth. Pence does not have a big lead. Popped up. Schumacher to end the seventh inning with no runs, a hit, and a man left. 2-0 Cardinals through 7. Feature brought to you by the Home Depot. Michael Bourne set sail for second. It looked as if he had stolen the base, but even on a one-bounce throw from Yadier Molina, the quick hands of Jim Schumacher got the out call at second from Andy Fletcher. Bourne is thrown out. The 8th time he's been caught this year. Now it's still 2-0. Schumacher leads it off and fouls it. Bud Norris gets another inning now because Sanchez made the final out, and Norris will be due to lead off the bottom of the 8th. Unless he runs into trouble. Schumacher with the RBI single in the second is 1 for 2. He rolls it up the line at first for Berkman. 1 out. 17 of the last 18 Cardinals have been retired by Norris. Astros pitchers have had the best ERA in the league in the month of July, 2.05. 195 batting average against them is also best for the first 7 games this month in the league. Lopez 0 for 3 tonight. Steven Strasburg and Washington beat San Francisco 8-1.
Matt Cain for the Giants tonight.
Yeah, he's been a tough luck guy for about 3 years now. Did give up 7 earnings and 6 2/3 tonight, though, on 11 hits.
He earned his loss tonight.
Yeah.
For the most part this year, he's pitched really well, and either loss he got tough no decisions.
Strasburg went 6, giving up 3 hits and a run. Lopez has a 1-1 count.
It would be really unorthodox, but you could make a case for letting Bud Norris hit in the bottom of the 8th. I mean, coming off that bench to face Adam Wainwright is a real tough proposition for a pinch hitter. All right-handed bats there for the Astros.
Fly ball left field. Carlos Lee coming over toward the line and into the corner for the catch. Buck's thrown 104 pitches.
The way he has pitched, if you're Brad Mills, you might be tempted to let him say, this guy here, though, scares me. Rasmus, he punched him out in the third, but his other two at-bats, he really hit the ball hard. Doubled first time up on a fastball up and in, and then hit a BB to first base last time for an out, and a fastball is down and in a little bit. I'd be cautious with the heater here.
Ground ball past Berkman up the right field line. That gets out to Pence. Rasmus going to second. Pence with a throw. Offline. It's a double. Second of the night for Rasmus.
And again, jumping on that first pitch fastball. It was down, but over the plate. Trying to throw a little runner to the outside corner. And started it in, and it moved back towards the middle. With Pujols up and the base open, and he starts walking.
And they will do that. Bring up Holiday.
And a lot of people say this is the only move. Well, it really isn't. Holiday's been swinging a hot bat.
In fact, recently Holiday's been hotter than Pujols. This will be the 22nd intentional walk to Pujols. Holiday's 0 for 3 in the game. I think Norris's slider has been better tonight than we've normally seen it.
For me, his slider it's a pretty good pitch for him. It just varies from game to game. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it flattens out on him. But it goes with his fastball too. A lot of it is mechanical. When he's on top of the ball, he's able to have better command of his fastball and a little more sink, a little less run at times. And the slider has a little more tilt or depth. I think his feel for his slider has been very good tonight. Keeping it down, making it bigger at times than others.
Yeah, he's kept it down. Strike to Holiday. And he has that riding fastball at 95, which you just saw. And keep the slider down. The hitter really has to cover a wide area.
He's essentially a two-pitch pitcher. He'll mix in the occasional changeup, but it's mostly a power game. Mid-90s fastballs and a hard slider. When his command is good, he's fine. He got away from him. But that's what, further development of the changeup, or maybe coming up with a slower breaking ball, more of a curveball, that will allow him to not have to be so precise with his fastball slider combination. Give the hitter something else to think about. He'll probably get away with a few more mistakes. He's overthrown. That's the danger sometimes when you put a guy on. You just create a sense of urgency in the pitcher's mind, especially a young guy. And he gets out of himself a little bit here. He's been going along nicely. Now it looks to me like he's trying to throw that ball about 140 miles an hour. And the mechanics kind of a little haywire. Good visit here by Jason Castro. Good recognition, saying, all right, here, let's slow things down a little bit. Go back to what you've been doing all night long successfully.
Brad Arnsberg looking over things with Brad Mills, left-hander and right-hander, warming up in the Houston bullpen. Jay on deck. Sampson's a right-hander. Deep drive to left field. That'll go a long way. Banged it off the 45-year logo, and a 3-run homer for Holiday, number 15 of the season, giving him 47 runs batted in. The Cardinals lead it 5-0.
And again, it's a pick your poison situation there. And I remember Phil Garner used to get criticized in situations where he'd pitch to Pujols and be everybody. You can't let Pujols beat you. And I'm not saying that this was the wrong move by Millsy to walk Pujols. It's certainly a defensible play. But the idea that it's a no-doubter, this is absolutely what you must do, is walk Albert whenever given a chance, I just don't buy it. And Albert, obviously the best hitter in the game, but sometimes there's extenuating circumstances.
Holiday cracks one to left center field, and it's 5-0, and that signals the departure of Norris and brings in Tim Burdack to face the lefty hitting John Jay. Back in a moment.
To nothing ball game. Now it's time for Chevy at the ballpark. We would like to recognize Strickland Chevrolet for their support of Pearland Little League. For more information on Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit the website. It's ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
Tim Burdack comes in. Our call to the bullpen is being brought to you by Verizon Wireless, showing you a lefty who's been very effective recently. And he comes in to face the lefty hitting John Jay.
Tim works for the 32nd time, 1-0, 4.64 the ERA. And boy, Bud Norris pitched a lot better. That one swing of the bat, ugly up his stat line for the night. And he pitched very well tonight.
Jay is 1 for 3. Burdack delivers strike one. 113 pitches for Bud Norris. And 7 2/3. He allows 7 hits, 5 runs. Walked 1. That was intentional, and struck out 4. Burdack gets strike 2 on Jay. Tim has not given up a run in his last 13 appearances, covering 8 innings. He's on the DL for much of May with a right hamstring strain. It's gone extremely well for him since he came back from that injury. 1-2 to Jay. Burdack pitched in a Wednesday 6-3 win over Pittsburgh. 1 hitless inning, coming in with a 2-run lead in the 7th. The Phillies got 6 in the 9th to send that game to extra innings. Cincinnati 7, Philadelphia 7.
Well, they had a wild one last night.
Yeah, they sure did. Reds won that one the Phillies won it in the 10th on a Brian Schneider homer last night. So Mike Leake had a win on the line there that went by the boards. Fly ball near the left field line. Carlos Lee over. That's a fair ball. It kicks off the wall, goes deep into the corner. And here's the turn at second by Jay. He gets a double. And he's 2 for 4.
Ball up and in on him. He just fought it off. Little bloop double, but a double nonetheless. Another run opportunity here for the Cardinals. Inside out swing on an inside heater. Doubles, the order of the day here. 4 of them for St. Louis tonight. 5 of them.
5, yeah. Tyler Green has one of those doubles, and he scored in the 2nd inning after it. He's 1 for 3. He and Brendan Ryan have both been playing at shortstop, and it's whoever plays continues to play. If he plays well, Tony La Russa says, there's ball one.
And Ryan has really struggled this year below the Mendoza line.
2 balls, no strikes.
196 for Brendan Ryan.
Green has looked pretty good lately. Burdack turns back towards second. See, Leake wound up getting 5 earned runs charged to him at 8 1/3. Cordero gave up 2 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning, unable to close it out for Leake in the 9th inning, and now they're in the 10th at Philly. 3-0 the count. And it's ball 4. 2 men on for Yadier Molina now.
Well, the theme continues. Brad Mills talking a lot this year about 2-out situations. Innings just getting away from the Astros pitchers. 2 outs, nobody on when this started.
Chris Sampson has been warming up. Sampson has been called into the game with the score 5-0 Cardinals. Back in a moment.
The Stars align for the 2010 Major League Baseball All-Star Game as the best of the American League take on the National League's top players. Don't miss the action Tuesday, July 13th at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Fox. This one counts. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. Chris Sampson in. And he last pitched Tuesday in the 6-2 win over Pittsburgh, closing it out with a hitless inning. He's 1-0. His ERA is 5.76.
Comes in with a couple of men aboard here, 2 outs. If he could finish off Molina, the Astros have 6 outs to play with. Maybe make a run at Wainwright and the Cardinal bullpen. But first things first, he's got to get Molina. Nothing for 3 tonight.
Strike 1. Molina 0 for 6 lifetime against Sampson. He's making his 7th appearance since he returned from the disabled list with right rotator cuff tendonitis. Last 3 outings have produced hitless, scoreless baseball for Chris Sampson. He got a win in San Diego a week ago yesterday in that 10-inning victory for the Astros.
That's a ring that Molina keeps kissing.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll get our crack researchers on it.
It's a 2-1 count to the 8th Cardinal to bat here in the 8th inning. A welcome response for Tony La Russa's offense. building onto a 2-0 lead by scoring 3 and with a chance to get more here. Cardinals took some tough losses in Colorado in the previous series. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Their record with Carpenter, Wainwright, and Garcia on the mound this year is 33 and 21. Tomorrow night it's Brett Myers and Jeff Suppan with a 6:05 start time, and Jeff Bagwell will be joining us for that game, as he does for Saturday night home games. Sunday at 1:05 it's Wandy Rodriguez and Blake Hawksworth. Grounded wide of third. Still 2-2. Astros have already been to St. Louis twice this season. They go back in early August. The Cardinals have only 2 trips this year to Houston. They come back here August 30th through September 1st. Astros have won the last 4 from St. Louis after the Cardinals won the first couple. After the All-Star break, the Cardinals do not play a road game west of Houston. Detroit is leading Minnesota. It's 7-3 in the top of the 9th at Detroit. Jose Valverde in the game. To left field, Carlos Lee back. And just in front of the big wall. He takes care of the 3rd out. Cardinals get 3 in the 8th. On 3 hits, they leave 2, and it's 5-0 St. Louis. Brought to you by the 2011 Jaguar XJ, showing you Adam Wainwright tonight. Once again, he has shut out the Astros. Big curveball getting Berkman there. And he has had it working with the fastball. He's moved the ball around, throwing sliders. Got a double play ball here on Carlos Lee. And that was back in the 6th inning.
And now he's got a little extra breathing room because of that 3-run top half of the 8th. So it's going to be awfully difficult now. But we say never. Just keep battling, keep the line moving. Brendan Ryan has moved in to play shortstop. Green slides over to second, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yes. Schumacher out of the game after going 1 for 3 with an RBI.
Our crack researchers, as I promised, have gotten to the bottom of the Yadier Molina kissing the necklace.
Ooh. Jason Bourgeois pinch hitting here for the pitcher. Chris Sampson takes strike 1. What did they say?
I went next door to the Cardinals television booth. It's a little medallion of a glove with a ball, it's a jewelry that his dad gave to him. His dad passed away prior to last season.
Okay.
And his dad gave him that to keep. So he kisses it before every pitch.
Very nice. Up the middle and into center field. A pinch single for Jason Bourgeois of Houston. He was right on that pitch.
The slider stays up. And Bourgeois right on it. You hang it, he will bang it.
And number 6 for the Astros. That's his second pinch hit for Houston. All the hits have been singles. Michael Bourne had one of those. That was a bunt single in the 5th. He is 1 for 3. Keppinger on deck. Bourne looks at ball 1. 5-0 lead for Wainwright. Began the night with an ERA of 2.24, which was 4th best in the National League, and he's lowered that. This fly ball hits for center field. Rasmus back. Okay, they've made a change. John Jay has moved to center field. Rasmus has come out of the game. Schumacher's in right. That's out number 1.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember them doing that before.
Well, and I know, apparently Rasmus has had some problems out there this year, but normally the center fielder is typically your best defender.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare to take a center fielder out for defensive purposes. Maybe there's something else going on.
Could be something going on with his leg or something like that. Keppinger's the batter. He's 0 for 3. Keppinger looks at ball 1 with Lance Berkman on deck. Astros trailing by 5 here in the 8th inning. Wainwright has thrown 96 pitches. Gustavo Chacin warming up for Houston. 2-0. Did you happen to see the commercial they played him up on the video board during batting practice today?
Of Chacin? No, I did not.
Oh, you got to see that. That is an absolute thing of beauty. Fly ball to left center field. And Holiday's ready to catch it and does so. Gets in position for the throwback. And it's out number 2. Well, he has a line of cologne, or at least did have in Toronto, so they got the commercial from that and played it on the video board during batting practice.
Yeah, when he was in Toronto, they had Gustavo Chacin cologne giveaway night.
Right.
It was kind of on a lark. It was something they kind of came up with on one special occasion.
You got to see this.
Does it have him in a lab coat?
No, he's just pictured. Very tight shot of him. Very serious pose, endorsing the cologne. And ball 1 to Lance Berkman. He has a single and a walk tonight. Tim Burdack, no innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, had 1 walk, no strikeouts. Chris Sampson, 1/3 of an inning, got a fly ball out on Molina. And Chacin warming up now with the count going to 2-0. So the guys have been having a little fun on this homestand with the Bud Norris automobile parked out in center field and the Chacin Cologne commercial laying up on the video board. He comes on, he says, "I am Chacin." 3 balls and no strikes. Looks like a German scientist or something in the shot they put up there of him. Somebody who's been in a smock developing this cologne. Berkman takes a 4-pitch walk, and now 2 men are on for Carlos Lee.
Dave Duncan bouncing out of the Cardinal dugout to have a chat with his big right-hander. Get things stirred up in the Cardinal pen.
That's the 3rd walk for Wainwright. Mopping his brow after 104 pitches. He's a strong young man, though. Pitch a long time, but is it necessary? We'll see what Duncan comes up with.
Well, the way that things unraveled for St. Louis in Colorado, guaranteed Tony La Russa doesn't feel all that comfortable, even though he's got a 5-0 lead here in the 8th inning.
Kyle McClellan is warming up.
Give up that 9 spot in the 9th. It kind of lingers and stays with you for a while.
Yeah, that's in your dreams. There's the pitch count with 24 in the 4th inning. Astros had a walk and a single, but Johnson struck out to end that frame. So Wainwright now works to lead. He's at a stranglehold on Carlos.
Carlos is one for his life against Wainwright. Maybe this would be the at bat. That's what you need, boy. You need somebody to do something big here when you're down 5.
3 times this year, Wainwright has not given up a run in a start. One of those complete game 2 hitter against Milwaukee, and that's a good lineup. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Duncan out to check with Wainwright, also to buy time for the reliever to start to get loose. And one thing you look at from the dugout, it's hard to see in and out, but you can see up and down. And if the pitcher starts to elevate, that's when you're worried about fatigue. And you see Wainwright really working hard to stay on top of that ball and keep it down.
2-1. Colby Rasmus left with a right hamstring tightness problem. Fly ball to center. Jay is calling. And in the 8th, it's no runs a hit, 2 men stranded after 8. 5-0 St. Louis. Sports Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150, and by the Progressive Insurance Group. 5-0 Cardinals. We go to the 9th here at Minute Maid Park. And Gustavo Chacin comes out of the Houston bullpen to warm up. He will be pitcher number 4 of the night. He's 1-1 with a 3.86 ERA.
The 29-year-old left-hander out of Maracaibo in Venezuela. Pitched pretty well for the Astros since coming up from the minor leagues. Last time out, not so good. 3 runs in 1 inning. A couple of days ago, Astros won that ball game 6-3.
Brian Mueller left that game with an injury. There's Wainwright. Wainwright has thrown 108 pitches through 8. Talking with a teammate there with a 5-0 lead as the Cardinals bat in the 9th.
Handshakes, he is done. Next time you see him pitching will probably be from Anaheim in the All-Star game.
Nick Stavanoa of Houston is the pinch hitter. He went to Jersey Village High School and the University of Houston. And there's ball 1 to Stavanoa. 294 is a pinch hitter, 2 homers, 3 runs batted in for Nick. He's had 34 pinch hit at bats.
It's on your neck of town, isn't it, Brownie?
Yeah, Jersey Village, out there where Larry Durker lives.
Was he your paper boy or anything as a kid?
No. Don't remember that. I've never met our paper boy. I usually don't get up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, they just drive by and throw them now, don't they?
Hey, they're good, though. They don't miss a day. Fly ball to center field. Michael Bourne over. Good grab for out number 1.
Hey, that sounds like a Disney movie in the works. The swinging newspaper boy turned pitcher, quarterback or something.
Yeah.
Good swing. Hang with him.
Well, Nolan Ryan used to be a paper boy. Was that, you think that develops your pitching arm to hook that ball over the roof of the car?
Yeah, whatever you throw, just keep throwing. throw rocks, throw baseballs, throw newspapers.
Skip Schumacher's the batter. He's 1 for 3. An RBI single, and there's ball 1 to him.
Probably throwing a party tonight after acquiring Cliff Lee. Boy, you talk about big leap forward for that club, for that organization. They're prohibitive favorites to win that division now.
They really are, because they didn't have a #1 type starter in their rotation.
5.5 game lead for the Rangers entering play tonight. And and they set up as a much better postseason club. You know, the team they have now could have won the division, but it would have been tough in the playoffs when you have to match up against those frontline stud starting pitchers.
Liner and a one-hopper. Sanchez tries a looping off-balance throw, safe at first. Schumacher in head first. He's 2 for 4.
There's other base hit just beyond the reach of Sanchez. A similar ball, inside-out swing. Very similar. This time, Angel able to get to it. He's a pretty good-looking shortstop.
Yeah. Schumacher aboard. Now it's Lopez batting. He's 0 for 4. You know, you bring up an excellent point regarding a team like the Rangers. They're looking to the playoffs. They're trying not only to win their division, but to get better for the playoffs. So they're looking to acquire a pitcher of the caliber of Cliff Lee, and that's what they did. Line drive up the right field line, and Hunter Pence lets it get by it. Schumacher comes to third, and Jose Oquendo is going to wave him on home to make it 6-0. And Lopez hit a liner. Pence got caught in between, left his feet, and then it went all the way for Lopez RBI double.
Well, you know, he absolutely got caught in between. Initially thought, I'm going to try to make a play on it. Then said, no, I'm going to lay back and play it on the hop. And at the very last said, no, go ahead, I'll go for it. And would have been better off just settling in and playing on one hop. In this ball game, probably doesn't mean a whole lot.
It's an RBI double for Lopez, so that extends his hitting streak to 6 games, and it's his 11th double of the year. Brad Arnsberg out to talk with Chacin. Casey Daigle warming up for Houston. Meanwhile, Ryan's at the plate. He'll be batting for the first time. Now back to your point about Cliff Lee, though, he obviously would be the game 1 starter in the playoffs if the Rangers made it. They have a 5.5 game lead over the Angels, so if he does what he did for the Phillies after his trade to that club, that would be greeted very favorably for Rangers fans, and then perhaps take them on beyond the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, he's been very good in the postseason in his career. Despite the fact that he hasn't pitched well at that ballpark in Arlington, my hunch is he will. He's been unbelievable this year. Spent some time on the DL, but once he got healthy, he's been lights out.
Brendan Ryan, the batter. Ryan takes, and it's ball 1. Ryan, a 196 hitter, as JD mentioned, a big disappointment offensively with 2 homers, 16 runs batted in after grabbing possession of that shortstop job last year and having a solid year. He has done a backslide this season for the Redbirds. That's in the air, and the center fielder Michael Bourne comes in for it. 2 outs.
Cliff Lee has walked 6 men this year.
Wow.
6 walks all year.
That is nuts. And Rich Harden has been on the shelf for weeks now and has not been able to deliver the way the Rangers had hoped. So Lee could really step into that vacuum and be the guy they need on that ball club. Now Lance Berkman comes in with Albert Pujols coming up, first base open. And Pujols with an RBI double, 1 for 3 with an intentional walk. Now Brad Mills will make the walk. Lance was into the stalling game, and the Astros have the right-hander Daigle getting loose. So that bought a little time for Casey.
The Pujols coming up. Casey's, but no, go ahead. You're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
And Daigle will be pitcher number 5 when he comes in from the Astros bullpen with a score: St. Louis 6, Houston nothing. Back in a moment. pitcher number 5 for the Astros. He just got his first win on Wednesday over the Pirates since the 04 season. He's 1-1 with a 6.23 ERA.
Well, here's hoping for Casey's sake he doesn't have to wait so long for the next one. He's 8 2/3 innings at the major league level this year, was pitching well at AAA Round Rock. 8 2/3 innings, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, a couple of long ones, 357 the batting average against Casey. Cliff Lee, looking at the numbers, we were chatting about that prior to the pitching change. 103 innings pitched this year, 6 walks, 89 strikeouts.
Wow.
That is, I don't know if Maddox even ever had a line like that.
He may not have. He wasn't usually striking out that many, but he sure kept the walks down. Albert Pujols up again for the 5th time now. Daigle delivers, and it's ball 1 for Casey. And Casey got that win on Wednesday. He worked a couple of scoreless innings. He came in with the game tied 3-3 in the 5th. And he had a bases loaded confrontation with Ryan Church. Got him to get out of trouble. He had not thrown in 12 days in a game. 2 balls, no strikes. He had been sent to Round Rock, didn't pitch there, and then returned. And there were some games which were not the type of ball games in which Brad Mills wanted to use him. So Casey was biding his time, played some catch on flat ground, and kept himself ready, and then thrown right into the fire on Wednesday. Bounce foul. He went 2,249 days between major league wins. That guy doesn't care much about that. He's got himself a nice souvenir. 2 balls, 1 strike to Casey. And Jeff Fulcino has had elbow problems. He's on the disabled list. Astros hoping to avoid surgery with him. Meanwhile, Daigle gets a shot out of the bullpen. Fly ball hit way back. Michael Bourne is out of room. That one's up on the Conoco pump for a 2-run homer for Albert Pujols. Number 21 for Pujols, giving him 64 runs batted in. Eight to nothing Cardinals as Pujols almost bangs it off the Conoco pump way up in left center.
Split finger pitch. And it stays up in the zone for Pujols. And you talk about getting extended through a ball. How about that finish?
Yeah, they are buzzing about that tape measure shot. And up on the board as a 415-footer.
Michael's got the ball out there. Trying to figure out what to do with it. He's got it in his pocket.
He's going to get it back into one of the umpires. Well, Albert has hit some memorable long balls here at Minute Maid Park. Including that one off Brad Lidge over the railroad tracks to win the game in 05 in the league championship series. Now Holiday, he ripped a 3-run homer.
And that kind of goes to my point. Pick your poison. Last time they walked Pujols, Holiday hit the home run. This time they pitched Albert, as you would. 6-0 ball game. That's frustrating for the opposing manager.
Coming into this game, Pujols was a .320 career hitter at Minute Maid with 22 homers and 300 at bats. .587 slugging percentage, .395 on base average. Fly ball. Carlos Lee goes after it. Sanchez is there first. And in left field, he takes care of the out. The Cardinals had 3 in the 8th. They get 3 in the 9th on 3 hits. And their lead grows to 8-0. trying to avoid being blanked again. Kyle McClellan comes out of the Cardinal bullpen. He's 0-2. His ERA is 2.27.
Yeah, Kyle has worked 39 2/3 innings. He's been awfully tough to hit. He's batting .211 against McClellan. He has good breaking stuff. Allowed 4 homers.
Aaron Miles checks in at second base. And Tyler Green has moved to third base for the Cardinals. Now it's Hunter Pence, who's 1 for 3, leading it off in the home 9th inning, and it's ball 1 to him.
McClellan usually pitches good, but sometimes he pitches bad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hey.
Foul ball right up here. Oh, it just about got to JD's waiting hands and carry him down to somebody else. We don't get too many up here. 1 ball, 1 strike. You would have had it, though. He was in position.
Yeah, I couldn't reach that.
No.
He's got to know his limitations.
1-2.
Just don't lean backwards over that railing and try to catch one. Poor fellow in Arlington learned that lesson the hard way. Thank goodness he's doing okay.
He got what? A broken ankle and a fractured skull or something like that?
But out of the hospital, I believe.
Yeah. Lucky man. Grounded foul. Adam Wainwright, for his 3rd straight start against the Astros, worked 8 shutout innings. Earlier this year in a 5-0 win in St. Louis, he went 8 shutout. And last start last year in St. Louis, 8 shutout in a 1-0 win against the Astros. Still 1-2. This time he gave up 6 hits, no runs, walking 3 and fanning 4. So Wainwright's ERA will drop. We'll check that for you, but he's in line to be 13-5 with an ERA probably just above 2 or so for the year. It's phenomenal for the first half.
All the base hits for the Astros tonight, singles, a couple infield hits. A hard time driving the ball off of him, but the Astros are not alone in that regard. He's done that to just about everybody this year. His ERA is now 2.11.
Nothing but singles allowed of the 6 hits given up by Wainwright. And his career record, if he wins this game against Houston, will be 9-1. And his career ERA is probably going to be about 1.5. It was 1.72 before this game. Strike 3 call for McClellan.
No argument from Hunter. Perhaps looking for a breaking pitch, and McClellan able to clip the outside corner with the heater. Not bad at all. Looks like he's put a little dye in that thing. That's a very vibrant red.
Strike to Castro, who singled in the 4th inning to right field. And it's quite a goatee. Hits a 1-ball, 1-strike count. McClellan went an inning and 2/3 Wednesday night for his 13th hold of the year. Cardinal bullpen has a 3.57 ERA. That's 5th best in the National League. Popped up to the left side. Ryan. 2 outs. The Astros have been blanked 8 times this year. They were shut out in those back-to-back games in San Diego last week, 3-0 and 1-0. Now Chris Johnson 0 for 3. The Cardinals have pitched 8 shutouts. Coming into this game, their ERA was 2nd best in the National League. Strike 1 to Johnson. Tony La Russa's club hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak tonight. Grounded foul, and it's 0-2. Game 2 of the series starts 6:05 tomorrow night. Brett Myers, who's 5-6 with a 3.57 ERA. Jeff Suppan, he's 0-4 with a 6.44. Fly ball to left center. Holiday moving, and Jay is there as well. Jay has it. And that's a shutout win. Adam Wainwright going to 13-5, combining with Kyle McClellan on a 6-hit blanking of the Astros. And the Cardinals take this one. Final score, Cardinals 8, Astros nothing.